Hey, my friends, this is Jeff Yalden, suicide prevention specialist and youth motivational speaker, and the author of Your Life Matters. Coping with the loss of a loved one is probably going to be one of the hardest things you'll ever have to endure in your life. We call it suicide survivors, those that are living having lost someone that they've loved. In this video, I'm hoping that I can share with you some tips that can help you through the grieving process and for you to move forward in your journey. The shock and the grief that consumes you after losing a loved one can be overwhelming. Whether it be a parent, a significant other, a brother, sister, a friend, boyfriend, a girlfriend, sometimes this can put you in the darkest hole where you feel that there's no way out, you'll never get out. My friends, these are common feelings and emotions that you're going to feel. Let me share with you some of the other experiences that you're going to experience while you're going through the grieving process. And I hope that you understand that as you go through the process, every step of the way, it's going to become a little bit easier for you to deal with. Number one is shock, feeling numb, dazed, confused. Shock kind of prevents the mind from allowing you to function so that you don't become overly overwhelmed with the situation. Shock is the first step in the grieving process. The second one is denial. Your response is, I feel fine. Whether it be consciously or unconsciously, sometimes we refuse to accept all the facts surrounding the loss of someone. But as more time goes by and the more information that we get, the more we're able to give way to less troubling emotions. Just another step in the process. And the third step is guilt. In some way, shape, or form, maybe you feel that you're responsible, that you should have been there, you could have prevented this, you could have gotten help. You have to free yourself from the guilt. We are all responsible for our choices. We're all responsible for opening our hearts and seeking help. And the fourth one is sadness, where you think, why bother with anything? And then as time goes on, sadness starts to come to the forefront. And sometimes simple triggers can happen where you have memories. And those memories bring sadness and disappointment and feelings of maybe guilt come back or denial. Sadness is okay. Sadness is an emotion. Sadness can make you appreciate little things. Let's not stay there too long. But it is okay to experience sadness. And the fifth one is anger. Anger is another common emotion. You can be angry but still love someone. You can be angry thinking, why did they do this to me? But let's channel our anger and let's make sure that we're moving forward and it's constructive, and you don't want to ever turn anger towards someone, or more importantly, you don't ever want to turn it towards yourself. And sometimes anger is needed as you move forward and accept the loss of that loved one. And moving along is acceptance. You know, when you have acceptance, you can miss the person, but you still continue living with your life. You've come to a place where the ultimate goal of healing is to accept that there's been a tragic event, and as something that could not have been prevented and cannot be changed, if that makes sense. So acceptance is something that has happened. We can't change it, but we need to move on. Acceptance doesn't mean that you're forgetting. I never want you to forget, but maybe acceptance is more about learning to live again and forgiving what has transpired. Let me also reiterate that the process through this grieving is that you learn to accept the loss and embrace both your happy and sad feelings. The other thing I want to make sure is that when you learn to accept, you're learning to live again. And as you're learning to live again, you're able to reopen your heart while still remembering the person who has passed. Losing a loved one by suicide can prevent greater challenges in the healing process than losing a loved one by any other means, such as old age or cancer. I want to share with you several circumstances that can make death by suicide different, making the healing process a lot more challenging for us to have to bear and go through. Number one is stigma and isolation. Different cultures, different communities, different people, faith backgrounds, all kind of view it differently. What's important here is as you go through the grieving process, find a positive support network that can help you and respect your feelings. Again, remember, suicide is never easy for anyone to talk about, but what's important is maybe you finding someone professional that can help you as you have your own morals and values, and they're not going to judge you, and it'll be a lot easier for you to talk about. Number two, mixed emotions. You know, when someone dies as a result of natural causes, cancer or something, we have feelings that are much less complicated than feelings of losing a loved one by suicide. Feelings such as anger and abandonment and rejection, while also having feelings of love and great memories of that person. What's important here is you have mixed emotions, is to really try and address all these diverse feelings so that you can make the healing process easier for you. And that's something that, again, professional counseling, having a positive support network, you go through the feelings of rejection or abandonment or anger or sadness, guilt. So definitely a professional network is definitely something that you need to look into. And the third one is having a need to understand why. My friends, there are so many questions after a suicide, and many of these questions will never be answered, whether something is left behind or something isn't left behind. Maybe the feeling of they didn't want to be a burden, so they wanted to end things quickly without notice or without reason. This is all, you may have second questions or second guesses on what you should have done surrounding the circumstances. Were you in the right place at the right time? Did you say something? Did you do something? What were the final words or something? Sometimes there's no answer. And that's really hard to accept. But in your heart, you need to move through the need to understand why. And also risk for survivors. Sometimes when we lose another one, our feelings are like, I wish I were dead. I wish I can take their place. Please understand, having thoughts of suicide is not uncommon. Having thoughts of suicide and making a plan and want to take action are emotions that are way too severe. You see, how do we get through this process? It's time. And through this time, remember the positive support network and professional counseling. You need to vent. You need to share. You need to ask for help. You need to listen. You need to talk it out. So let me share with you some healthy ways to cope with the loss of a loved one. Number one, seek support. Now, for adults, we're capable of responding and thinking things through for the most part and not reacting. So for many of our teenagers, the littlest thing happens, we think it's the end of the world. Now it's a suicide. That just complicates things so much more. So seek positive support. A lot of teenagers do this. They seek the support of their friends. Although their friends aren't the professionals that I want them to talk, I think it's important that parents understand that our teenagers need to go to people that they just want to be with. And as long as it's positive and it's constructive and they're just being together and embracing this with each other, that's okay. The second thing is being patient. Again, patience is all about time. Patience is being aware that you're going through this process, that emotionally things aren't easy right now, that you're losing interest in things that you once considered to be fun and enjoyable. We need to be patient and go through the process. So seek support of professional help. Seek support of constructive people that are going to be there for you. Patience. Be patient. It will take time. Also, stay present. Be present in each phase of the grieving process. Be patient when you're sad. Be present when you're sad. Be patient when you're with friends and professional help, but also be present in those moments. Be incredibly present. Feel it. Go through it. Also, express yourself. Don't be afraid to open up. Don't be afraid to share how you may have felt angry or you feel rejected or abandoned, that you feel that this was selfish and not fair, and why did they do this? Express yourself, but also do it in a constructive manner. Don't hold it in. Don't try and push your emotions under the carpet. Let your emotions come out and work through the process of grieving. And finally, allow yourself to have fun. As you slowly move through this, time becomes your friend. Things start to get a little bit easier. Go have fun with your loved ones and your friends and that support network. Establish routine. Get back to your routine. Get back at waking up on time. Get back to your breakfast routine, your workout routine. Get back to going out with your friends. Get back to date night with your significant other. Don't get so caught up in the emotions of the grieving that you push everything away for a long period of time. Slowly, you need to work back towards what was once important and enjoyable to you. And as you do this, I want you to also remember, take care of yourself. Take care of your eating. Take care of your sleeping. Take care of your exercise. Take your vitamins, drink your water, go for a walk, breathe, meditate, take care of yourself. My friends, I appreciate you listening. My thoughts and prayers are always with you. I'm truly sorry for your loss. But just remember, it will be okay.